You have animals. You can't go on vacation. Sure you can. Absolutely. It's just a matter of proper planning. The only thing you have to do is make sure that your animals have enough food, have enough water, they have enough shelter, safety, security, and you can go away. I do so many times a year. I go away for long weekends. I go away for a week. And each time my animals are A-OK. Stick around for the second half of the video and I will give you tips on how to make sure your rabbits are happy and to avoid some mistakes that might be detrimental. And of course you have to make sure that you lock up properly. Check the perimeter again. Just make sure that everything is closed. There are no gaps anywhere. Go over the entire perimeter of your chicken pen. The entire perimeter to make sure that there are no little holes, no cracks. Everything is good and secure because you're not going to be able to run out and stop an attack if anything gets in here. So you have to double check everything. All right, their food container is completely full and their water tank is getting filled up. In addition to the large tank of water, I have given them an additional 10 liters just in case. You never know, maybe there's a flight delay. So always make sure to give them extra water, way more than what they need. This big tank will last them 6 weeks or so. So they've got enough water. And their food will last them also a month. So they've got plenty for me to go away for a week. Plenty. And you have to make sure that everything is all tight. You have to make sure that all areas are closed. Nothing can get in. Okay, you have to really make sure. All right, they have a full, very large container of water. They have another 5 liters of water there. Their food bin is filled with 1 complete bag. Put a cover on that to help keep the sun off. In addition, they also have that water bottle full of water. The next thing for me to do for these rabbits and guinea pigs is to fill this up to the brim with vegetation so that they shall have enough vegetation for the coming week. I want to point out over here also is that I filled in this bottom with rocks. I left them enough space that they have access to the water so that they can get the water, but I also put rocks in here so that the guinea pigs won't find themselves in a bowl of water and not able to get out. So they've got their bowl of water and plenty of water, plenty of food, and before I leave, this is going to be totally filled with greenery for them to eat. Are you investigating everything? Aha! So for the rabbits, I don't have to worry about them climbing in and not being able to get back out of the bowl. However, one thing you do have to look for is making sure that the entire tank is level. It has to be completely level in order for the water to sit in the bowl and not run out. And I do that by placing rocks around. And then, of course, you see this stick that I put in that was to help keep it from leaning on the fence. And that's what this little guy was investigating. Yeah, and this too. So if you take a look here, if you can see it, you have to make sure that the water, where's it at? Let me see if I can get in there. You have to make sure that the water is sitting in the bowl and it is not leaking out of the bowl. And that's the goal. So now these guys have got their 20 liters of water, and then another 5 liters of water, and then they've got their bottle there as well, and their food bin is full. And the only thing left for me to do here is to fill up their pen with loads and loads of greenery before I go. And then they'll be ready. And these guys don't have a large watering tank, but there are only 2 of them. They're small, and they have the equivalent to 1 large tank of water in here. So they should be okay. 20 liters for 1 week is more than enough water, I think. And of course they've got their scratch, and they've got their silo full of food as well. So they have about 1.5 bags of food and 22 liters of water. So for a week, I think that's good. Aside from the greens that I need to put into the rabbit pen, they're ready. Their fences have been checked, the corners, everything to make sure predators cannot get in, the top fences, everything. And they have shade. Over their water is shade. The quail, actually, believe it or not, they've got shade over their water from the tree. And these guys have shade. They have shade. Shade is really important. And that's it. The greens, and we're ready to go. I always do the watering and the main food container filling the day before, and then I come back and I check to make sure that there's no water spilling over the sides, that everything is all good, and then I start to fill the pens. Now, this is the following morning after I filled the water, and I gave a cart full to the pens. I am going to be leaving tomorrow early morning, so I'm going to come out here again right before I leave and give them another cart. And this evening before I go to bed, I will give them another cart so that they will have plenty of food. Now, some people are saying, oh, but maybe it's not enough. Maybe it's, it'll dry out. Yeah, it'll dry out. Yeah. But every time I've gone away, even if it was for 2 weeks, even if it doesn't matter. There was always leftovers. So as long as they've got the pellets, and as long as they've got these weeds, I have a variety. If you notice, I've got tree branches, I've got grasses, I've got vegetation of all kinds. Now, what's really important is to never, ever cover their toilet area with the vegetation. 1, they won't be able to get to it right away, so easily. And 2, they won't eat the vegetation that the toilet area, that is over the toilet area. So it's always a good idea to make sure that you never cover their toilet area. Now, in addition to the minerals and vitamins and all the good nutrition that they get from these plants, one of the main things that they need is something to chew on for their teeth. And that is why it's really important that you put in bark. You put in tree branches so that they can chew and grind down their teeth. Another thing is, you see these cute, adorable little guinea pigs? They have no climbing ability. So whatever food you put for them, you make sure that they don't have to climb for it. You make sure that you have enough at their level, because they are not climbing animals. And this is the size of the cart that I used. It's one of those just a regular market cart, one of the large ones. So I fill that up 3-4 times and get the pens really, really crowded, really stuffed with greens. And then lock everything up, make sure everything is closed, and we're good to go. So I'm not going to show this to you when it's really, really full. It's okay. It's going to be dark, and I'm going to be rushing anyway. So I put in a little bit here just to show you. Until next time.